We're talking today about this 2222 gateway that we are presently in. And if you are not already feeling it, I suspect you probably are being influenced slightly, if not quite a bit, because of this particular transit we're in. So I just wanted to come on and share a little bit about what you might be feeling as we go through this. It's an important one. This is a gateway we've been looking forward to for quite a while. So what is this all about? What is this date that we're talking about here? February being the second month, the 22nd day, and then the year 2023. So there's a lot of twos and of course a token three. But what difference does this make and what does it mean to you? So I've got a few notes I wanted to share. So first of all, two is about several things, but one of them is about balance. So two also, if you look at it, two looks like it's kind of like a serpent. Like if you know what like a cobra, that sort of traditional symbolic image of a cobra looks like, that's what the two also represents. So not a cobra specifically, but the serpent. And the serpent is also representative of Kundalini energy. So if you've been noticing today, there is distinctly a different energy coming in. In fact, it's kind of a more confident energy, a more grounded, stabilized, poised energy. Wasn't the two kind of look like it's ready to strike? So this energy is unique and it's very reflective of the time that we're in. So we're nearing the second half of February, which is getting close to March, which is a time where we're kind of reaching our first closed or the closing of a first sort of chapter to this pre-spring energy that's coming in March, the end of March, and then again in April. And what this is doing is it's like a brewing or a building of our energies, which feels kind of like confidence. It feels like growing clarity. And in this position on this day of the two, it's like the cobra that's getting ready to strike. And so for us, it's like, okay, we're getting ready. We're feeling more poised, ready to strike, but striking with our energy. I'm not talking about like the energy of war or fighting. It's like, where are we going to focus our energies in terms of what project, what movement forward are you going to take? So it's like a partially coiled, right? This energy that's partially coiled. So there's like a good reservoir at the base of it. And then whatever it is you choose in the near distant future of what you want to then apply that to, you're going to have this great big strong base of energy at the bottom, this kundalini essence at your core, at your root. And then all you have to do is know where you want to go, know what you want to focus that energy like the head of the two, right, the head of the snake, and with laser precision and with a big delightful explosion, you'll be able to hit that and really make connection, make contact with whatever it is you want to create. The other thing is this feeling of being expanded. So the energy right now is certainly bringing up this feeling, particularly today and coming off the tail of February 21st, where there's this feeling of like, okay, I'm expanding. And if you haven't felt this yet, just encourage you to just take a minute and slow down and just feel into how you feel. If there's any kind of resistance, like if you're dealing with something that maybe has you distracted or has maybe your ego mind activated a little bit, it can feel a bit like tension. It can feel a bit like nervous energy or uncertainty. But if you slow down and kind of come into your own center with this kind of frequency at play and just breathe into it, there is an undertow of expansion and it feels good. And sometimes it's just not knowing really what that energy is that can make you feel a bit unstable. But just know it's a very, very good sign. It's a very good energy to be swimming in right now, especially what we're faced with. So some other words to share, some kind of guidelines to follow as you move through this period. So On Monday, we had a new moon, and the energies around that, the Piscean energy was very strong. And then the 21st, okay, there's also strong energies around that day. We are also in the middle, we've been in the middle for the last 2.5 days of some really strong geomagnetic storm activity. So, a lot of solar activity taking place, again, affecting our bodies, affecting our minds, affecting our hormones, affecting how we feel and our emotions in a big way. And what it's bringing us into a realization of is that we have to be before we can do. So, what I mean by that is you may have an idea of what you want to do, something you desire, something that you want to create in your life. But unless you are already being that, doing that thing, whether it's launching an event, hosting something, creating a course, a program, a new career, whatever it is, unless you are being the type of person that that requires, you're not going to feel aligned. It's going to feel daunting. It's going to make you feel probably a bit unsettled, a bit nervous, a bit unsure. And so the message with this energy, particularly today, is you have to be what you want before you can do or have. And meaning you have to do those things authentically and with integrity in order for things to feel fully aligned. And then for everything to unfold with the ease and the grace and the fun and the flow that we all want. Okay, so that's one message. It's a time to choose differently. Let me just move this so I can read and see better. Okay. So it's a time to choose differently. It is a time to choose the higher path. So notice in your life what has been the pattern of the way you've been responding to situations or to life. This two energy is all about bringing balance, as I mentioned before. And with so many twos, there's no way you can get around it. You have to be willing to finally do things differently, make your choices differently. And what I'm talking about is just those everyday moments. If you're always finding you're making the same choices when it comes to perhaps foods that you don't think you should be eating, or your body's telling you, I don't enjoy that, but you're doing it anyway out of habit, now's the time to choose to do it differently. What's really aligned for you when it comes to your health, when it comes to the foods that you eat, when it comes to how you're engaging with others, particularly in intimate relationships? What's the pattern that you're noticing? What patterns are you noticing with finances, with money, with abundance, with other things that you may create? Notice the patterns, and now is the time to choose differently. If you have been acting in playing out patterns that are not serving you, that are not moving you forward, that are not expanding you, and not just shaking up your world so you can learn lessons, but shaking you up perhaps, but then giving you an opportunity to choose, and then you taking that choice, choosing in a way that is actually going to bring you into a higher expression of yourself, right? Whatever that looks like for you. And twos, all of these twos are also activating choice points within us, in the world around us. And the choices that we make as we're faced with these choice points are going to be the decisions that end up shaping what 2023 is going to be like. No doubt you have got some aspirations, looking back at how you have lived your life, perhaps all this time leading up to now, and then thinking about who you really want to become. These are the moments that you get to create that. This is a time to completely reinvent if you want to. And you probably feel that energy, right? Of the newness, because 2023 is so much about everything new. February is about newness. It's about innovation, right? It's that Aquarian energy and freedom. And the thing that holds us back from ultimate freedom is ourselves. It's the thoughts in our mind. It's the decisions we make. It's the choices that we're making moment to moment about who we're choosing to be. And then that's reflected into how we're showing up for others, for ourselves, the choices we're making in the projects we may or may not do, the way we may or may not relate with each other. All of it is coming up for renewal. And all of it now is being amplified. Okay. And when it comes to fear, this is a time to stop acknowledging and choosing the fear when it's that ego based response to life, and instead getting still and centered within yourself, seeing whatever it is that's presenting to you. Usually it's a decision, a choice point about something, or imagining something in the future. Whatever it is that you are thinking about or being exposed to that is bringing up these feelings of fear, stop. Get yourself into a place of centeredness, quiet, calm. Start by breathing, just taking a few deep breaths. Do that 3 times. Let's do it now. Do it with me. One more. If you do that when you are facing anything that brings up fear or anxiety within you, just taking 3 deep breaths is going to bring you into such a more grounded, centered, and empowered place. Then from there, take a look at whatever it is you're facing and then make the decision. Do I go down the road of fear and allow my mind to take me for a ride, imagining all the worst case scenarios, not allowing me to see beyond the storylines that maybe are being presented to me, so that I can actually make a decision that is in alignment for me, despite what it might look like to others, despite what it might look like to my ego mind, who is by nature paranoid, afraid, and not rooted in your authentic, true nature, your soul essence coming through. It is not that. And that's what we want to tap into. But you cannot tap into your true soul or source essence, the God creator in you, when we are tapping into fear. It's one or the other, right? One and one, 2 choices makes two. And so this is again another theme for right now, is like choosing. When I say choose the high road, it's choosing your true nature, making decisions based on that, not based on the egoic fear or the disappointment or the frustration or all of these other things. Choose what is more true to you. And the only way you can feel that out and know what that is if you can get out of the fear scramble or the crazy, busy, frantic mind, slow that mind down. That is the ego mind at play. Ask it to take a back seat. Thank you, but I don't need you right now. And then breathe like we just did. And then coming out of that third breath, notice how you feel. Look with a space of neutrality at whatever it is you're facing, decision you got to make, situation you're dealing with, whatever it is. And then choose, instead of coming at it with defense mechanisms or fear or worry or frustration or anger or judgment or whatever, how can you come into it or come up against it from a place of love? And I'm not saying to feel in love with what you're looking at, but you can certainly feel appreciation for it because it's bringing you an opportunity to learn how to manage your energy and be empowered. Take charge of your own life, starting with that moment. How do you take charge of your life? By directing your energy and knowing how to control not the outside world, control yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing you can control. And that is something that we all must learn to master. That's why we're here. So, see where in your life you may be confronted with things that are bringing up emotions in you that are less than empowered, grounded, centered, in joy, excitement, all of these things, and then evaluate them now while you have this support, and make sure you're making these choices, regardless of what it is, whether it's food you're eating, what you're going to do at lunchtime, how you're going to approach this challenge in life, Decisions around business, decisions around money, make sure you are making them from a place of balance. Okay. And know that when the dust settles, okay, because sometimes making a decision that feels really true to you can ruffle a few feathers. It can shake things up, first of all, within you, so that you can actually think, oh my God, I don't know if I can actually make this decision. I've always done it this way. I don't know if I can do it this new way, even though this feels so much better to me. Now's the time to kind of let things get shaken up. First of all, let things get shaken up within you. Don't worry if it shakes things up around you. If you are following your true guidance, guidance about what is really, truly feeling good to you, then you just do it anyway. And then have faith that when the dust settles, if there's any dust at all, when the chips fall where they're going to be, that you're going to be in an even better place. I hope that makes sense. Lastly, know that yes, there have been some energies at play. We've got the geomagnetic storm activity. We have the numerology of all of the twos, which is a very strong energy that impacts us 24/7. We have the cosmic alignments that are coming into play now, which we won't get into. And then there's also the Schumann frequencies. Okay. So the energy of the ionosphere of the planet that has been steadily increasing for the last, I don't know how many hours, but since about 9 a.m. today on the 22nd. And so that's just adding even more to this really heightened special gateway that we're going through. And it can aggravate the system a little bit, can make you feel a bit frazzled. So just know that it is an immensely powerful time. You're being so supported. There is so much in the way of solar codes, light code, encodements, tune ups that's coming to our bodies biologically, energetically, and at the DNA level. So there's a lot going on. You can't see it, it's behind the scenes, but just know that if you're feeling a little squirrely and or you're feeling exceptionally focused or powered or energized, this is part of it. So this is leading into, like I said, this chapter that's going to start in March, around the 20th of March, and then also in April. So it's like revving the engines. You're like a race car that's getting ready to go and run an incredible race. So enjoy the energies today. If you have any questions about this, feel free to leave me a message. I'm not sure where you're seeing this, but message me. Let me know how you enjoy this, if you resonate with this. Can you relate to what I'm sharing? I know that many people I've been speaking with, many clients as well, are definitely feeling this. And it's not just us. So I'd love to know how you are finding the energies on this glorious day, this 2222. How many twos? Gateway. Lots of twos, right? And I look forward to chatting with you again soon. Bye for now.